Introducing GForceTV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GForceTV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GForceTV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GForceTV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GForceTV racing leagues. GForceTV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GForceTV.
Well, good evening, everybody. We welcome you to week number 2 of the new season here on GeForce Racing Leagues. And tonight, we have a special treat for you, as we do each and every Monday night. The Renegades in action, and they're brought to you by SBGC 3D Printing. SBGC 3D Printing committed to making this cutting-edge technology accessible to anyone who has an idea that needs to be manufactured. Using a 3D CAD program, they'll work with you to create your invention and creative projects. That's SBGC 3D Printing, bringing you the Renegades. And tonight, we are live from the Knoxville Raceway. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Marion County Fairgrounds as we get set for this second week of action on this new season here with the Renegades, as we take a look at Trent Verstraeten pulling his car out onto the speedway. And we welcome you in to the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show as we'll get things set here for action on the big half mile. Hello, everybody. I'm Sean Niestead. My partner tonight, Scotty Too Hottie. Scotty DeYoung, not feeling too hotty tonight, so he's going to take a night off. I'm sure he is tuned in over there in beautiful Northwest Iowa at his home headquarters. And he'll be back with us on Thursday night. And he will be bringing you the A&J Custom Creations Big Block Modifieds this coming Thursday. And I'm going to take Thursday night off. I'm going to go do some racing of my own. Maybe we'll talk about that later on the show. Right now, we need to talk about more important things like this Gambler Motorsports pre-race show. Gambler Motorsports, if you haven't done so yet, go over to Facebook at some point here really soon during this broadcast. Just head on over to Facebook. You know you're looking at Facebook as you sit here and watch the racing anyway. And type up Gambler Motorsports and give them a like. They're an esports racing team. They compete weekly all over iRacing's platform. They've got drivers in dirt races, sports cars, asphalt oval. They'll even compete in endurance races like the 24 Hours of Daytona here not long ago. They're also competing with Le Mans, so they are very busy folks over there at Gambler Motorsports. Great racing team to be associated with, and we thank them for their support of the pre-race show here tonight with the Renegades. Week number 2, that means we've got point standings to talk about, although it is early on in the season, never too early to talk about the points. And atop the standings after the victory last Monday night, Jonathan Short, who we will see in competition here this evening. He is your points leader ahead of Aiden Young. Good night for Jonathan Short, by the way, not just getting the 75 points for the feature victory last Monday, but 0 incidents, so he picked up the bonus for that, picked up a couple of other bonuses, so not just a 75-point night like it would be if you just won the feature event. He totaled up 88 points last Monday night. Did Jonathan Short. So Aiden Young there in the second spot at 79. Chad Cote in the third spot. Chad Cote in the third spot. He's at 76. Stephen Fernberg is fourth. Lane Snook, who we've seen charge through the field a lot the last couple of races. He is your 5th person in the point standings. Blake Trepman, Trent Verstraeten, John Hine, Jareth Pike, and Matthew Croakey complete your top 10 in the point standings tonight, entering the program for the SBGC 3D printing Renegades here this evening. Of course, the point standings brought to us by iRacing League Manager. If you are one of those great folks out there managing an iRacing League, well, make it easier on yourself. Head on over to iRacingLeagueManager.com. You'll see there how they can do that by calculating your points and your events. It is much, much easier than the work you're doing now. Head on over there. iRacing League Manager bringing you that points update coming into tonight's racing program. That brings us to Spartan Racing qualifications, as cars already starting to make their way out towards the racetrack. Daniel Vaught, the 180, one of the first cars to come onto the speedway, as we'll take a look at that machine heading on down into turn number 1, now off of turn number 2 for the van, car number 180. Sean Stevens going to go to the top of the chart here immediately, though. The 26 machine setting quick time at a 15:65. That'll get bumped down by Kevin Fry, the number 21. He'll go a 15:61. He sits atop the chart now here in the Spartan Racing qualifications, as you can see the times coming in on the left side of your screen there. The 15:61, just better for Fry than Sean Stevens in second. Lane Snook right now, he's jumped up to the 3rd spot. Trent Verstraeten on track, the 088. He jumps up to the 4th position. And look, JP, Jeremy Paulson, up into the top 5 in that Velocity Race Design Bandy-Built Race Cars 000 at a 15:70. As this is Spartan Racing qualification. Spartan Racing features drivers from parts of the U.S. and Canada. They compete mostly on the dirt side of iRacing and run multiple leagues with an emphasis on the GeForce Racing leagues. Go over to Spartan Racing on Facebook. Give them a follow as we get set now. Steven Spies up to the 4th spot in the 55 machine. You see him there. He'll park his car, a 15:66 for his best lap. Jeff Laro just jumped up to the 6th spot, the 200 ride, Ashweekend Speedway entry. He'll go up to the 7th quick spot because Kyle Moonen just bumped him down a spot. Oh, new look, going blue and black on the car is Moonen. Moonen picked up the win here at the Knoxville Raceway last season with the SBGC 3D printing Renegades here at the Knoxville Raceway. And in fact, that was one of his he picked up the win the following week when they headed to Lanier. So good run there. Moonen up to the 3rd spot. See, John Short just finished his time. And your 3-time defending series champion, the number 30 of Stephen Goldner, he now goes to the top of the chart at a 15:60. So Goldner now quick timing it in the number 30 machine. The last couple of seconds here of Spartan Racing qualifications out there on the track. We've had 30 drivers take time. We'll see if we've got 3 more drivers down there on the infield who have not taken time at this point. So we will see if they make it out onto the track here before we end our qualifying efforts. We'll split the tower there on the left to give you a look at the other times out there on the speedway, as you'll see all of our official times here tonight with Spartan Racing qualifications. A lot of racing coming up this week on GForceTV as we go through the final minutes of qualifications and await our heat races. If you haven't done so yet, tune in on Wednesday night. New series here for GeForce Racing, and kind of a new way to look at some racing action here with the iRacing presentations for you. Hometown Wednesday nights, and it's a pretty cool deal. If you didn't catch it this last week, you make sure to tune in on Wednesday night. Starting at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, the 305 sprint cars hit the track, and it's the same track every week. We'll be at Cedar Lake Speedway because we're emulating exactly what it's like for the hometown heroes from your local racetrack. So Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, 305s. In the middle part of the segment, we'll call it the filling, the Oreo filling there in the middle. That's a special division. Let me tell you about that in one moment. And then the 410 sprints wrap it up at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. At 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, that's when the tour comes in between the 305 and 360 sprints. This week, it is the Dirt Legends coming in, and it's Throwback Week this week. And so there's going to be some old school paint schemes. And here's where you get involved on our Hometown Heroes Wednesday night racing presented by Icon Sim Sports. If you pick the podium, you can win an Amazon gift card. And because there was not a winner last week on the opening night, that Amazon gift card is up to a $20 gift card this Wednesday night. You can learn more. Go to GForceRL.com. That's short for GeForce Racing Leagues.com. And right there on top of the homepage, you'll see the pick the podium information, and all of the details are right there for you. Right now, we need to get down to business here at the Knoxville Raceway for these SBGC 3D printing Renegades, because heat race number 1 is down there in the staging area. Heat 1 brought to us by A&J Custom Creations. Let's take a look at how they line up for this one. Jareth Pike, your pole sitter in the number 91 machine. Jesse Bandy will be alongside of him in the number 57 out of Rochester, Minnesota. Steven Spees, the 55, your third starter, and Stephen Goldner, 3-time defending series champion and quick timer here this evening. The number 30 machine rolls off from position number 4. Zach Chapman is your 5th starter, the 3rd row inside, starting spot in the 72. G.J. Boydell, the number 14 machine. He'll line up in the 6th spot outside of that 3rd row. And Nathan Aldrich, the 151 out of the great state of New York, he will be your 7th and final starter on this one. So again, 7 cars will take the top 4 finishers directly in to tonight's main event presented by SBGC 3D Printing. Beautiful look high above the Marion County Fairgrounds. Perfectly prepped track as always, as the cars are down there bottom right in the staging area, and they'll roll their way onto the racetrack here in just a moment. A&J Custom Creations bringing us heat race number 1. They specialize in laser engraving and CNC machining. A&J puts its craftsmanship to work in every wood trophy and plaque. A&J provides trophies and plaques to all of the GeForce Racing League division champions. Of course, you can always contact Andy Patton to order your custom creation. And I bet drivers anytime now going to get those custom creations from A&J Custom Creations in the mail from the previous season with the GeForce Racing Leagues, including the driver out there in this heat race. You see right there the number 30 of Stephen Goldner. What a great battle it was between Goldner and Kyle Moonen coming down to the very, very end of last season. That was an exciting points battle between those two drivers. So that was a good run here, but right now it's all about the new points season going on out here on the racetrack. So what's in the past is in the past. Doesn't matter anymore. These drivers got to put that behind them and focus on what's in front of them. What's in front of them right now is this opening heat race. Again, 8 laps the distance. Top 4 are going to go directly to tonight's main event. The field formed up behind Wally Price in the Knoxville Raceway pace truck. He'll dip it to the infield, and we get set for the green. Track reworked. It is got plenty of moisture in it for this A&J Custom Creations heat race, as we'll hustle them down to turn number 1. Late green flags here with the waiting on the flag stand. Steven Spees going to head out to the early race lead on this one. The 55 machine has Jesse Bandy in pursuit behind him as they'll come off turn number 1, and they'll come down to the stripe. And now we've got 7 laps to go in this one. Right now, Zach Chapman and Stephen Goldner in the final transfer spots. You see Chapman to the inside with that 72 machine working on the 57 of Jesse Bandy coming off turn number 4. Here comes Goldner to the inside looking for the position as well. Down into 1 and off of 2 they go. Bandy's going to slip back to the bubble position in that number 57 machine. Chapman up to 2nd, Goldner, Bandy running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Steven Spees out to a nearly 7/10 of a second lead in that 55 machine. Right now, G.J. Boydell, he is the man on the hunt. That number 14 machine looking to come 1 more position forward and setting his sights on the 57 of Jesse Bandy. Right now, Boydell 1 spot out of a transfer. things shaking up a little bit there. Chapman and Goldner battling for the spot. Jesse Bandy all over the tail tank of the 30 of Steven Goldner as they make their way off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. We go on board with the number 30 of Steven Goldner, your defending series champion, as he makes his way past the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum and back down into turn number 3 and off of turn number 4. Your leader's now going to see just 3 laps to go on this one. Goldner to the inside of the 72 of Chapman. That is for position number 2, and that will move him up some more starting spots in tonight's A main. Goldner to the bottom. Chapman now in 3rd. Jesse Bandy holds the final transfer spot. Boydell, Pike, and Aldrich still looking at a consolation event. White flag is in the air. Final trip for Steven Spies. You see him well in control of this one. He'll make his way off of turn number 4 and down to the finish line. Steven Spies wins heat race number 1, presented by A&J Custom Creations. So heat race number 1 going into the books. And our first heat race of the night, a dandy one for Steven Spies, who really laid it down on that one and picked up the victory. A look at your official results from Heat 1. Steven Spies, Steven Goldner, Zach Chapman, and Jesse Bandy. They all get a ticket to the main event. G.J. Boydell, Jareth Pike, and Nathan Aldrich will have to come from tonight's B main. Second heat race, ready to tangle out here, out in the speedway. It'll be 8 laps. Top 4 going to go to the main event. Here's how they line up. Steven Fernberg, the number 29 machine, is on the inside of the front row. John Hine in the number 71 next to him. Second row, Trent Verstraeten drives the 88 machine for Wide Open Motorsports. He'll start 3rd. Kevin Fry in the number 21 is your 4th starter, coming from outside row 2. Had a podium run last week. Brian Moore Sr., the 558, he'll start 5th on the grid. Matt Ramsey, the 45, your 6th starter. And from the back, the Aussie, J-Mac, Jamie McCarran in the 211. He will be scheduled to be your 7th starter. Has not made the call here for heat race number 2. So that is the starting grid for our Howard Hanna Real Estate heat race number 2 tonight from the Knoxville Raceway for the SBGC 3D Printing Renegades. Howard Hanna Real Estate, they're the number 1 family-owned and operated independent broker in the United States. And Scott Hurwitt, he's been a multi-million-dollar commercial and residential real estate agent for many years. He can help you get the experienced professional realtor anywhere across the country. And that realtor will have the experience and knowledge to ask the right questions and get the best house at the right price, just like Scott Hurwitt does. That's Scott Hurwitt and Howard Hanna Real Estate bringing us heat race number 2. Green flag is out. The top 2 cars banging here on the front straightaway. And oh my, we've got big trouble down there in turn number 1. Everyone's going to drive away from the incident site. But that changed things up in a big way. John Hine from the front row. He has fallen back to the 6th spot. Brian Moore Sr., you see that car? No nose wing on that machine. He'll have his hands full for the duration of this one. Meanwhile, Matt Ramsey right there, the 45. He sneaks up to the final transfer spot and runs in position number 4. Steven Fernberg runs in 3rd. Kevin Fry in 2nd, and he's got his sights on Trent Verstraeten, your race leader, in that 88 machine. As there you see them heading down the back straightaway. Let's go back, take a look. We don't normally do this in heat race action, but this is what transpired on that first lap. You see the 29 of Fernberg and 71 of Hine get a little contact there in the first set of turns, and there's an early evening bonus Malcolm Mills mill riding replay for you. Trent Verstraeten is your race leader. Kevin Fry, though, all over him as they make their way off of turn number 2, and now down the back straightaway. Kevin Fry in that 21 machine. A strong runner whenever we see him unload with the GeForce Racing Leagues, and you see he's got his sights on that 088 of Verstraeten as they work past the Hall of Fame, down by the back stretchers, and into turn number 3. There you see them off of turn number 4. They'll see the flag stand, and Justin Clark showing them 2 laps to go here in the Howard Hanna Real Estate heat race number 2. As they look like that, there you see Fernberg comfortably in 3rd, Ramsey in 4th, Brian Moore Sr. charging a little bit, as is John Hine trying to make up some distance, but they're running out of time. Things changing up front here as Verstraeten took a look to the outside line to feel it out. Kevin Fry capitalizes. He goes to the bottom here on this final lap. They'll make their way off of turn number 4, and coming to the checkered, your winner will be Verstraeten at the line in the 88, picks up the victory. So a good run there for those two drivers out front. Close race. Trent Verstraeten is going to get the very, very close win in our Howard Hanna Real Estate Heat Race number 2. Let's take a look at the official results, and we'll take a look there as well as the interval, less than 1/10 of a second for Verstraeten over Kevin Fry. Stephen Fernberg goes 3rd, Matt Ramsey 4th, and then Brian Moore Sr., John Hine, and Jamie McCarron. They'll have to do some bonus lap racing coming up in a B main here tonight. 3rd heat race ready to roll on to the Knoxville Raceway. Starting lineup, Matthew Croakey led some laps and ran up front last week. The number 2 machine for Phantom Motorsports. He's your pole sitter. John Short next to him in the number 51. John Short picked up his 6th career win with the GeForce Racing Leagues in his 100th start last Monday night. He starts outside the front row. Row 2, that's Jeff Flero on the inside. The number 200 ride. Next to him, Kyle Moonen, the number 24, victorious here last season at the Knoxville Raceway with the Renegades. Jacob Ludwig, the number 81, and Jack Hitt in the 217. They'll go side by side in row number 3, and looks like scheduled to start 7th, the C2C Sim Racing 747 of Roger Craig, your 7th and final starter on this one. So that's the grid as it's scheduled for heat race number 3 for the Renegades here tonight. Heat race number 3 is brought to us, as it is every week, by Coast to Coast Sim Racing Team. They feature drivers from coast to coast, see where they got their name, in the U.S. and Canada, and they're pleased to be part of the GeForce Racing Leagues since the very inception. It's great to have them here. Great to have the field formed up behind the pace vehicle here for heat race number 3 tonight, the Coast to Coast heat race for the Renegades. Looks like Roger Craig not going to make the call here. I'm betting he's doing some officiating here on this one, so he'll be a bystander on this one in the 747 machine. Got the fire suit off after a good run tonight in the Rebels. And now you see our 6-pack of drivers ready to crack it open for 8 times around the half mile known as the Knoxville Raceway. World's most famous dirt track down here in Marion County, Iowa. Pace truck will drop him off. Of course, the Knoxville Raceway pace truck, you heard me say. Wally Price hits the driver down there. Justin Clark, the head flagman, 2nd generation flagman at the Knoxville Raceway, throws the green. And we're underway. Look at this battle. John Short and Matthew Croakey not giving each other an inch the first couple of turns. It'll be Short getting the race lead. Croakey in the 2nd spot. Kyle Moonen runs in 3rd. Right now, Jeff Flero has the final transfer spot. Jack Hitt and Jacob Ludwig. Ludwig transferring out of the Rebels here tonight. That 81 machine runs back there in position 6. Here you see your top 3 as they'll make their way off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. See Matthew Croakey trying to size up that 51 of Short with Kyle Moonen right there in pursuit as well. They'll head down into the corner as let's go on board the 24 machine of Kyle Moonen. As you see the drivers right there in front of him, you see the helmet of the driver of the 24 machine. Here's his view inside the cockpit of the Bandy-built car number 24 side by side for the race lead. Croakey takes a look to the inside of Short. They'll hustle it down into turn number 1. There's the battle. There's the slide job. Croakey takes the lead. Short battling back on the high line. Side by side down the back straightaway into turn 3 once again. Croakey to the bottom, slides up, gets in front of the 51 of Short. Short back to the inside, side by side down past the flag stand with 3 laps to go. It's too close to call for your race lead. Now Croaky with the advantage, and here comes Moonen around the outside, and he'll grab that second spot. So John Short getting shuffled back a couple of spots as the track going through a major transition here in heat race number 3, starting to see that line move up significantly. Now Kyle Moonen sizing up Matthew Croaky. Croaky, your leader, Moonen third in the point standings last go-round. And looking for the lead. He'll go high into 1, cuts it to the bottom. He's got to run past the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. Croaky going to come down, slams the door shut, getting into turn number 3. They'll come to the checkered. It'll be close. It'll be Matthew Croaky, your winner in the number 2 machine. Great heat race there in the coast-to-coast racing team. Heat race number 3, Matthew Croaky going to pick up the victory. Wow. As my friend Tony Bachhoven, the voice of the Knoxville Raceway, would say, that was a Jim Dandy. Great heat race there in Heat 3. Here's your official results. Croaky by just over a tenth over Kyle Moonen. And John Short, the top 3, separated by less than 3/10 of a second. Jeff Flero got that final transfer spot. Jack Hitt, Jacob Ludwig go 5th and 6th, and they will go to tonight's SBGC 3D Printing B-Main event. Heat race number 4 in the staging area inside turn number 1 here at the Knoxville Raceway. Starting lineup will look like this. It'll be Preston Cranmer, the 07. He'll start on the inside of the front row in that Kreitz Racing C2C, car number 07. Jack Clevenger, the number 78 machine. He is your second starter on the outside of row 1. JP Jeremy Paulson, the 000 out of Minnesota, starts third. Next to him, that's Sean Stevens, the Aussie, in car number 26. Third and final row, Jeffrey Barker in the 513 on the inside, and the Need Speed Motorsports 43, Nick King, the driver of that machine. He'll start outside of row number 3. 6 cars, 8 laps, 4 transfer to the SBGC 3D Printing main event here tonight at the Knoxville Raceway. Track really starting to come around nicely here as we progress through the heat races here this evening, and should be in dynamic shape when we roll into feature action here in not too long. Great to have you all tuned in here tonight. Always great to have you tuned in with the GeForce Racing Leagues, GeForce TV, and GeForce Esports. Good to have you here. Make sure to tune in for Wednesday nights. Hometown Heroes, of course, Thursday night, Big Block Modifieds, Friday, the late models. You can catch them all on GeForce Esports as we get set to catch a green flag here off of turn number 4. Clevenger, Cranmer, side by side, waiting for the green lights. They're on, and we are underway in heat race number 4 for the SBGC 3D Printing Renegades here at the Knoxville Raceway. Oh, a little contact there. Nick King's got trouble. Gets the car back down on all 4 tires. He's got damage, though. You can see the nose wing missing on the number 43 ride. He runs in the 6th spot now as Preston Cranmer shows the way out front in the 07. But look at the battle here. 3 cars tussling it out for the lead position. Cranmer, Clevenger, Sean Stevens, the top 3 right there off of turn number 4. They will come. JP, Jeremy Paulson, right now runs in the 4th and final transfer spot with Jeffrey Barker nipping at his heels as they come down the back straightaway. Back out front, look at this 3-car battle, just like we saw in heat race 3, heat race number 4. 3-car breakaway and some great battling. There goes Stevens to the inside in the 26. Sean Stevens making a bid for the position, cannot get there. Jack Clevenger all over Preston Cranmer as they race into turn 3. What a battle this one is. A little bobble there. Clevenger got the car a little sideways on the straightaway. He'll collect it up getting into turn number 1, but now he falls into the grasp of Sean Stevens. Stevens all over him as they go back to turn number 3. Right now, Jeremy Paulson continues to run in 4th. You saw them on the top of the screen as he holds off Jeffrey Barker for that position. Stevens to the inside of Clevenger. No dice on the pass there. Clevenger, beautiful chrome 78 car running in 2nd. as they will see 2 laps to go, 1 mile remaining in heat race number 4. Stevens going to try to sail it in a little high on this one and then build the run down the back straightaway. That's exactly what he has done. Clevenger going to go to the bottom, slams that door shut. Now Stevens trying to kick it back open off of turn number 4. White flag in the air. Final lap of heat race number 4. And look at the battle for the second spot. Clevenger to the bottom. They'll make that Stevens to the bottom. Clevenger on the top, wheel to wheel, off of turn number 4. Anybody's oh, they're going to contact over here. That's going to change things out. Preston Cranmer, the 07, he will get the victory on that one. Oh my, big change there at the end. And that is going to be, there's going to be some discussions in the pit area after that one. Some, inadvertent contact battling for the position over there, but Preston Cranmer, no doubt about it, the Epsilon Sprint Wrap 07, your winner of heat race number 4. He'll park it on the infield, and we'll take a look at the results from this 4th heat as we will get set for one more heat race here tonight. A 5th heat race this evening for the SBGC 3D Printing Renegades coming up. And we'll take a look at the results from Heat 4 as soon as we have them. Right now, as we await those results, let's maybe take a look at the grid here for Heat Race number 5. It'll be the 180 Daniel Vaught starting on the pole position. Next to him on your opening row, that's the 09 Brian Moore Jr. He is your second starter on this one. Row number 2 on the inside, that's the 69 of Aiden Young. And alongside him, it'll be the 123 Lane Snook in the Bandybuilt Racing entry, your 4th starter. Blake Chapman starts 5th on the grid in the number 20 and the 94 of Gary Offit. Going to be your 6th and final starter on this one. Let's go back, take a look at the official results from heat race number 4. Cranmer, Clevenger, Paulson, and Barker getting the transfer spots. King and Stevens will be doing some B-main racing coming up after this heat race number 5 for the SBGC 3D Printing Renegades. Quickest car in this heat race in Spartan Racing qualifications was Lane Snook. That's why you see him in the 4th starting spot, an invert of 4 for our heats. For the Renegades, it's got Aiden Young to the inside. New paint scheme. And the Young Guns Creations, number 69. Daniel Vaught is setting the pace in that number 180. Brian Moore Jr. alongside him. We're ready for the green. 8 laps the distance. Top 4 to the main event. A little contact here. Green flag is out, and we're underway. Vaught and Moore, a couple of yellow cars showing the way through the first set of turns. Moore gets the momentum on the high line, and the 09 leads him down into turn number 3. Lane Snook, look at the youngster out of Pennsylvania, the 123. He's got the 2nd spot. Vaught and now Blake Chapman into the final transfer spot in the 20. Nope, Aiden Young back around the outside as, wow, that move, Chapman went to the bottom. It cost him. He went from 4th to 6th in a set of turns. Now he's trying to gain at least one position back as Aiden Young runs on the bubble position, the final transfer spot, directly to tonight's main event. Vaught runs in 2nd. Vaught runs in 3rd. Lane Snook is in the 2nd spot. And Brian Moore Jr. is your race leader. Remember last week in Victory Lane, we were talking to Lane Snook, the driver there in the 2nd spot. He's a go-kart racer out there in Pennsylvania, and he had 4 starts out there in the real season, 2 victories. Not a bad way to start your campaign for the 2021 racing season with the go-kart. There you see the 69 of Aiden Young in the middle of your screen. He runs in the final transfer position as they'll head on down the home straightaway. Young in front of Gary Offit and Blake Chapman, not too far behind them. Young also has his sights on Daniel Vaught, the driver of the 180 machine, who we see just in front of him. Again, the groove progressing up the racetrack here during our heat races. 5th and final heat race underway. And the track really looking nice here at the Knoxville Raceway as your race leader, Brian Moore Jr., sails it off of turn number 4. Here's a look from the just above the tail tank of the 09 of Moore. Looking back at Lane Snook, that is what, 3 or 4/10 of a second looks like here at the Knoxville Raceway for a difference between those two drivers as they'll now hustle it off of turn number 4, coming to the checkered flag. And your winner, that'll be the 09 of Brian Moore Jr. Snook, Vaught, and Young, they'll get the transfer spots from heat race number 5. We'll take a look at your official results from our 5th and final heat race as they cross the scales down there on the infield, and then we'll have a B main here tonight ready to go. Brian Moore Jr., your winner. Lane Snook goes 2nd, Daniel Vaught 3rd, and Aiden Young finishes 4th. Gary Offit and Blake Chapman going to tonight's B feature. Speaking of that B main, it is brought to us by SBGC 3D Printing, and it is up next here from the Knoxville Raceway. Again, SBGC 3D Printing, great small business production. That's what they specialize in. If you need an oil or a gas prototype, they can do that. Maybe you're looking for a prop for cosplay, or maybe, don't think too far out, but Halloween. They can do all of those things for you. They've even done wall hanging, racetracks, gears, hydraulic pump parts. They can do just about everything that you can print in 3D printing. Check them out. Go to their Facebook page. Just search SBGC 3D Printing on Facebook, and you'll find them, I guarantee it. GJ Boydell, your pole starter in tonight's B-Main event with Brian Moore Sr. alongside of him in the 558. Row number 2, Jack Hitt, your 3rd starter with Nick King for Need Speed Motorsports in the 43. Gary Offit lines up inside the 3rd row next to him. That's Jareth Pike in car number 91. Row number 4 made up of John Hine in the 71 and Jacob Ludwig in car number 81. 5th row, Sean Stevens on the inside, the 26 machine. Keep your eye on him. He had a good run going till some late race incident in his heat race. He'll start 9th on the grid. Blake Chapman next to him in the 20. And your final 2 starters scheduled to be Nathan Aldrich in the 151 and Jamie McCarron in the 211. That is your scheduled starting lineup. Looks like McCarron has scratched for the night in the 211. So we'll go 11 cars for 10 laps. Top 4 transfer into tonight's SBGC 3D Printing main event. Beautiful look from high atop the Knoxville Raceway. See the Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum up there off the right outside of Turn 2. The Brian Clausen Suite Tower right next to that. And the back stretchers sitting back there. Love the Knoxville Raceway. Great place to be. Ready for the green flag. Here you see Boydell and Moore Sr. waiting for that green. They will get it. They've got it. We got a good start heading down into turn number 1. Some 3, about 4 wide action here. As keep an eye out as well in this B-Main event. The 71 of John Hine had some heat race trouble. We've got some very good drivers in this B-Main. Some drivers I'm not used to seeing in B-Main action here. So, wow, this is going to be a dandy. As right now, GJ Boydell, he leads this one. Brian Moore Sr. in the 2nd spot. Nick King and Jareth Pike has that final transfer position. There's Jacob Ludwig. He's 1 out of a transfer. Here comes Blake Chapman. Chapman will take that 5th spot. He's got his sights now on Pike, who has the final transfer spot. There comes that Houston Speedway 151 of Nathan Aldrich around the outside. He's got that car humming. Houston Speedway, my home track. You'll see me there starting in, a little over a month. We'll be racing out there live on Dirt Vision every Sunday night. You can tune in and catch the 410 sprint car action on Sundays from the official racetrack of summer. Right now, there's the battle. Jareth Pike, the 91 machine. He's got the last transfer spot, or does he? Blake Chapman trying to rip that ticket to the A-Main right out of his hands. And here comes Aldrich right there with him. A 3-car tussle for 1 transfer position. Off of turn number 4 they come. Wow, look at Aldrich go to the top shelf off of turn 4, and he's got to run down the front straightaway. He may get the position. Here comes Ludwig on the basement side of the corner, doing the absolute opposite of Aldrich. Aldrich has gained 6 positions in this B-Main already, but he's in position number 5. That's 1 out of a transfer because Blake Chapman, the 20 machine, he's also gained 6 positions, and he runs in the 4th and final transfer spot. We'll come back and check on that progress right there as we look out front. G.J. Boydell has company from Brian Moore Sr. and Nick King. The top 3 got to be smart about this. They're racing for starting positions, but not everyone's going to make the show here tonight. So if one of these top 3 gets going too hard, slows down, or gets in an incident, they won't be going to the show. Blake Chapman, he's got his hands full with Nathan Aldrich. Aldrich back to the cushion on the top. He's got to run. He's coming after the 20 of Chapman down the back straightaway. Chapman going to go back to the high line, as does Aldrich in turn 3. Oh, just like that, Nick King gets loose. King, now Chapman gets sideways, and here comes Aldrich after him. Here comes Sean Stevens in the 26 to the inside. Sean Stevens has gained 3 spots. Aldrich bangs a backstretch wall. This is the white flag lap. Last chance for Stevens to get a transfer. Can he get there? No. Chapman will get the final transfer spot to tonight's main event. Wow, what a B-main brought to us by SBGC 3D Printing. Wow, what a consolation, and 4 drivers going to be happy with those results because they have punched their tickets to the SBGC 3D Printing main event here tonight. Let's take a look at the results from that B-main. Boydell, Moore, King, and Chapman, they keep their racing shoes on tonight. Stevens, Aldrich, Pike, Ludwig, Offit, Hine, Hitt, and McCarron, their night is done. That puts all of the qualifying into the books here tonight. Icon Sim Sports brings you this pre-main break. Head on over to iconsimsports.com to learn how you could have the most perfect, one-of-a-kind fixed chassis experience that's like none other. And, of course, if you order from Icon Sim Sports, they'll exemplify extraordinary customer service to you. We'll learn more about Icon Sim Sports, and we've got your SBGC 3D Printing Renegades main event right around the corner. You're watching the Renegades live on GeForce TV.
I love being home.
It all starts with the right house. That's where we come in. Howard Hanna.
I love
Home happens here.
being home.
Finding the perfect house to making it your home. We'll be with you every step of the way. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Hey guys.
Welcome back to the Knoxville Raceway pre-main event warm-ups concluding. A big thanks to Icon Sim Sports for bringing us that break, and we get set for tonight's main event. Again, it's brought to us by SBGC 3D Printing, and your starting lineup starting to form here at the Knoxville Raceway. We'll take a look at the grid for tonight's 30-lap main event, and the starting grid will go like this. Starting 24th on the grid, the number 20 of Blake Chapman, and inside row 12, it's Nick King in the 43. Row 11 on the outside, the 558 of Brian Moore Sr., and next to him, G.J. Boydell in the 14. Your 10th row has Aiden Young in car number 69 on the outside, and on the end, that's Jeffrey Barker in 513. Row number 9, the 200 of Jeff Flero, and to his inside, it's Matt Ramsey in car number 45. To row number 8 on the outside, that's where Jesse Bandy lines up. He's the pilot of car number 57, and alongside him, going from 15th on the grid, that is Daniel Vaught in car number 180. 14th starter tonight, just in front of his teammate and also fellow Minnesotan. That's the 000 Jeremy Paulson. Starts outside row number 7. Next to him, last week's A-Main winner, the 51 of John Short. We go now to your 12th starter. That is Steven Fernberg in the number 29 machine, and rolling off from 11th, the number 72 of Zach Chapman. Top 10 starters go like this. Starting outside the 5th row, it's the 123 of Lane Snook, and next to him, going from 9th to 78 of Jack Clevenger. Row number 4 on the outside, it's the 24 of Kyle Moonen, and next to him, the number 21 of Kevin Fry. To the 3rd row on the outside, your 3-time series champion, the number 30 of Stephen Goldner. He lines up on the outside, and to his inside, that is Brian Moore Jr. in car number 09. Row number 2 on the outside, it'll be the 07. That is Preston Cranmer. And going from 3rd, the Phantom Motorsports, car number 2 of Matthew Croakey. Your front row goes like this. On the outside, the wide open Motorsports, car number 88, it's Trent Verstraeten. And on the pole tonight, in car number 55, it's Steven Spies. That is your starting lineup. 30 laps the distance here tonight from the Knoxville Raceway for the SBGC 3D Printing Renegades of the G-Force Racing Leagues. Field getting set behind the pace truck drivers. Last couple moments to catch their breath because we are set to rip around the world's most famous half-mile dirt track. The sprint car capital racing of the world, the Knoxville Raceway, hosting the Renegades, and we are green flag on tonight's main event. Steven Spies, your initial leader, taking him down the back straightaway. Croakey, Verstraeten, big move there from Kevin Fry going to the bottom. Stephen Goldner has the 4th spot. Fry working the bottom into 21. He'll take over the 4th position, nearly 3 wide as they get back to turn number 1. There's a slide from Stephen Goldner. He's got 3rd as Matthew Croakey has taken the race lead out front in the number 2 ride. So Matthew Croakey got his first career win with the Renegades last season in that number 2 machine, coming at the Volusia Raceway. Right now, he shows the way early on in this event with 2 laps counted and 28 remaining. Spies, Goldner, Kyle Moonen has already gained 4 spots. The 24 machine runs in 4th. Trent Verstraeten in the top 5, but he's got pressure from Preston Cranmer for that. Cranmer gets the position in the 07 and moves into the top 5 in the Epsilon Sprint Wraps 07 machine. There you see the 21 of Kevin Fry. He'll dive to the bottom. All behind them, there's trouble. The 51 of John Short going up to the top of the raceway. And a caution flag will fly as we've got trouble here. 4 laps counted, 26 laps remaining here for the SBGC 3D Printing Renegades here tonight from the Knoxville Raceway as we go under the caution for the first time in this main event. Let's take a look at a Malcolm Mills mill riding replay and see what happened with John Short back here to cause the incident. There you see the 51 machine coming in on the bottom of the racetrack. He's got Lane Snook behind him, and oh boy, if they touched, it was the slightest of touches. As you see, Short then sliding up the racetrack, Snook trying to get by. They'll hook tires, and in the process, turns the 51 of Short up the racetrack. Wow, those drivers there doing a fantastic job to not get into that incident, including the 43 of Nick King, who we saw just sneak by there. Let's go on board with King here. This is on board with Short, I do believe. Let's see if we can roll back, get another look of this one here. Let's maybe go on board on this Malcolm's Mills mill riding replay with Lane Snook in the 123 machine. Let's see if we can go on board with him and see if we can see what happens down here. This is coming off turn number 2, so this is heading down 2. It's down in 3 where the incident happens. Oh, we just lost the replay there. We'll have to come back and see if we can get another look at exactly what happened on that incident, as Malcolm's Mills bringing us all of our replays all season long here on GeForce TV. Always good to have them with all of their support here of the GeForce Racing Leagues. Great people over at Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding over in Oakland, Ontario, Canada. There, we're going to do a little changing things around here, see if we can get things going again, get our graphics back up as you see the number 2 of Matthew Croakey making his way around the speedway. That number 2 machine looking strong here tonight. As we are back to green flag racing on this one. There you see your leader, Matthew Croakey. He's got the race lead in the number 2. We've got 6 laps in and 24 to go here from the Knoxville Raceway. Croakey leads. Steven Spees in second. Stephen Goldner up to that 3rd spot. As you see now on the screen, 23 circuits of the Knoxville Raceway to go on this one. Oh, a little contact there. Spees and Goldner had a little tussle right in front of Kyle Moonen as they head back to turn number 1. Caution flag out over the speedway. We'll woe him down for the 2nd time here at the Knoxville Raceway. And looks like Jeremy Paulson may have had trouble because he has gone pit side in the 00 machine. Get you back live here at the Knoxville Raceway as we idle around under the caution. Again, 21 laps to go with 9 laps counted. A big thank you to Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding up there in Oakland, Ontario, Canada. They're a full-service mill riding contractor featuring custom welding, fabricating, and they service all their industrial clients. That's Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding, bringing us all of our replays this season for the SBGC 3D printing Renegades. Of course, drivers got their mind on a GeForce Esports Hard Charger Award up for grabs in every feature event this season. Join us on GeForce Esports on YouTube. Click subscribe while you're watching, and that'll help you catch all of the GeForce Racing League action all season long. And at the end of this feature event, stay tuned. We will have your Epsilon Sprint Wraps podium presentation. We'll hear from our top 3 finishers after tonight's feature event. And if you're on iRacing and looking to stand out from the competition, Epsilon Sprint Wraps creates tailor-made graphics and logos to fit your personal taste. They've got a focus on realistic design. You'll look like you drove off your local dirt track and into iRacing. Champions choose Epsilon Sprint Wraps. Again, SBGC 3D printing bringing us all of the action here tonight and all season long for these Renegades. Look them up on Facebook. Just looking through some of the things they've done. Amazing, amazing work that they can do over at SBGC 3D printing. Matthew Croakey, your race leader, the number 2 machine. He started 3rd on the grid, got out to the lead early on in this one, and he will look for the green flag as we get set to resume action here. Steven Spees, Stephen Goldner, Kyle Moonen, Preston Cranmer, the rest of the top 5 as we're back to racing here at Knoxville. Going to see that groove continue to move right up to the big wall here at the Knoxville Raceway. There's Verstraeten in the 88, Brian Moore Jr., Kevin Fry battling it out. That is 6th, 7th, and 8th on the speedway. Brian Moore Jr. in that mix as well. Just in front of Lane Snook. Jeff Flaro is the man on the move. The number 200 machine has gained 8 spots there since the drop of the green flag. So we'll keep an eye on his progress in that Oshweekend Speedway car number 200 as he slides up just in front of the 57 of Jesse Bandy. Flaro started 18th. He runs in 10th. Now he's going to lose a spot to the 57 of Bandy, at least momentarily. Bandy through the middle cannot complete the move. Out front, there is Matthew Croakey, a little bobble. Steven Goldner chasing him down. And look at this battle for the third spot. Preston Cranmer going to the inside. Steven Spees up there on the top. The 24 of Kyle Moonen through the middle. 3 cars. That is third, fourth, and fifth. Right there on the speedway, battling it out. Meanwhile, Goldner less than 0.2 of a second away from Croakey as they'll use opposite lines to enter into turn number 1. Croakey slides up, grabs the cushion in front of the Hall of Fame and rips it down the back straightaway, but Goldner's got a run on him. They'll both enter on the top over here into turn number 3 and off of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway, your races for the lead. Goldner now through the middle as Croakey keeps the right rear on the cush. Cannot get there. Some great looking chrome on these cars as they'll both sail off of turn number 4 and back down the front straightaway. Goldner into the outside wall, and here comes Preston Cranmer chasing him down. Halfway in tonight's main event, 15 laps down, 15 laps to go. Croakey, Goldner, Cranmer, your top 3. Kyle Moonen runs in 4th. Lane Snook now into the top 5. He's gained 5 spots in this main event. Steven Spees runs 6th. Brian Moore Jr. runs 7th. Trent Verstraeten is 8th. Kevin Fry 9th. And Aiden Young completes your top 10 in that 69 machine. And as we say that, Jesse Bandy working around his outside, side by side for the 10th spot down into turn number 3. Things pretty close here once again for that lead spot as Matthew Croakey has Steven Goldner all over him as they head down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. This is the view from the number 2 machine of Croakey as Goldner goes to the inside of him down the back straightaway for the driver out of Grand Forks, North Dakota, home of the River City Speedway. One of the most exciting dirt tracks you will see anywhere in the world as there comes the 30 of Goldner to the inside of Croakey, looking for the lead. Does he get it? Does he get the drive off the bottom of 4? The answer is yes. Steven Goldner to the lead with 11 laps to go. Croakey trying to battle back but cannot get there as of yet. Goes right down next to the berm in turn number 3. This battling allowing Preston Cranmer to close in on the top 2. Cranmer, the outlaw, making his way through the middle. He's got a run. He's found a different line from the top 2 as Goldner made a little bit of back straightaway wall contact and comes down, shuts the door on Matthew Croakey. They'll come off the bottom. Look at Cranmer, though. That car is hooked up. It's got great attitude all the way around the speedway. Side by side for the 4th spot. Kyle Moonen and Lane Snook going to duke it out for this one. Right now the advantage belongs to the 24 of Moonen. Snook, though, right there looking to his inside. Matthew Croakey not satisfied with that 2nd spot. Changed lines in 3 and 4. Went to the top. Now Cranmer to the top in 1. He diamonds the corner. He's got to run past the Hall of Fame. Down into 3. Goldner continuing to lead this one, but by a very slim margin, less than 0.4 of a second. In fact, the top 3 separated by less than a second. Goldner, Croakey, Cranmer, Moonen, and Snook, your top 5 with 7 laps to go. Snook closing in on Moonen. Moonen comes down to block, getting into turn number 3, but Snook's still there. They'll go side by side down the front straightaway. Lane Snook and Kyle Moonen battling it out. Slider from Snook, and he's got the 4th spot. Can he hold it down the back straightaway? The 23 of Lane Snook now to the outside. Moonen to the inside here in 3 and 4. That is the race for position number 4. Snook has it once again. Moonen back to the 5th spot. There's Steven Goldner, your race leader. He's got the wing pulled back to the trunk. He's lead now, the largest of the race for him, nearly 0.7 of a second over the 2 of Croakey. Preston Cranmer right there in the 3rd spot in the 0.7 as the drivers have 4 laps to go here at the Knoxville Raceway. Track really widened out. Drivers using every inch of it now from the bottom all the way to the top. Goldner, slider line through 3 and 4. Croakey, very similar. Meanwhile, Cranmer and Snook work the bottom off of 4. And now opposite down here in 1. Look at Lane Snook. He's got a run. He is coming after the 0.7 of Preston Cranmer. We'll see if he's got time to get there. Lap time comparison. Cranmer has been on the short end of that stick for the last 4 out of the last 5 laps, and you see Lane Snook is there. Kyle Moonen, he's there. 3 cars battling for the 3rd spot. Moonen around the outside of both of them and into 3rd in the 24. Does he have enough time to gain any more positions? He's all over Croaky with the white flag in the air. Look at this, a 4-car tussle for second. Moonen's got the run. Moonen looking for second. He gets around the outside of Croaky. Steven Goldner, however, off of turn number 4. He'll get his first win of the season with the Renegades. For second, it's Moonen. And for third, Matthew Croaky by 100th of a second over Lane Snook. Oh, my goodness. And Preston Cranmer completing your top 5. What a battle for those drivers there in those final circuits here tonight at the Knoxville Raceway. What a feature event we just witnessed, presented by SBGC 3D Printing. Again, you can learn more about them, sbgc3dprinting.com, and look them up on Facebook, as we'll take a look at your unofficial results here tonight from the Knoxville Raceway for these SBGC 3D Printing Renegades tonight. What a feature event it was. Results go like this. Steven Goldner is your winner by just over 1 second. Then look at behind him. Kyle Moonen steals the 2nd spot there in the closing laps in the 24 machine. And this one, all your official results, Lane Snook in the 3rd spot. Wow, what a turn of events there. Official results coming up, and it shows Lane Snook in 3rd, and by 2 thousandths of a second. 2 thousandths of a second. Lane Snook finishes 3rd. Matthew Croaky 4th. Preston Cranmer 5th. Steven Spies goes 6th. Brian Moore Jr. 7th. Trent Verstraeten 8th. Kevin Fry 9th. John Short finishes 10th after his early race incident. Stephen Fernberg was 11th, Matt Ramsey 12th, 13th to Jesse Bandy, 14th tonight to Jeff Flero, Aiden Young 15th, Nick King 16th, Brian Moore Sr. 17th, and 18th going to Zach Chapman. Blake Chapman finishes 19th, Jeffrey Barker 20th, GJ Boydell 21st, Daniel Vaught 22nd, Jeremy Paulson 23rd, and Jack Clevenger 24th here tonight. Taking a look at your Hard Charger Award winner tonight, deep in the field, Nick King finishes +7. And it looks like he will be your GeForce Esports Hard Charger here tonight. And we'll see if we can chase him down in a little bit. But right now, we've got to go to our podium here tonight. And we will head to the Epsilon Sprint Reps podium presentation here this evening to hear from our top 3. And let's head first to talk to the driver who finished in the 3rd spot, and that was Lane Snook. The 123 machine gained 6 spots here tonight. Lane, the difference at the line between you and Matthew Croaky, 2 thousandths of a second, .002. How close was that from where you were driving here tonight?
It was certainly really close.
Talk about those closing laps. You were kind of back there in the 10th spot for quite a while, and then suddenly it seemed like that car just turned on.
Yeah, I fell back to 10th and kind of got stuck behind people in the bottom. Then worked my way up through and got up the, I think, 4th. And then Moonen got around me on the top of the last lap, and I just followed him around, Croaky and Preston.
How wild was that? Because it looked like you guys, it was kind of between you and Moonen, and it looked like it was going to be for like 4th place, and then suddenly you started chasing down Preston Cranmer. Suddenly Matthew Croaky was right in that mix. How wild was that?
I don't know. I tried to throw a slide job on Preston, and he blocked me, and that was probably the scary part. I didn't want to wreck him or anything. That's when Moonen got around us, and I think we were like 3 or 4 wide at that point. And then I just somehow got up top and passed both of them too.
It was a wild and good one tonight. A good points run as well for the 123. Lane, I know there's a lot of good people you need to thank for the podium position here tonight.
Yeah, I need to thank Velocity Designs, Vanderbilt Racing, Brandon, Jesse, Moonin, Goldner, good run for them two tonight. JP, Lacey, Fitzy, Dirt Doctor Trucking, Bow.com, Powerhouse Motorsports, Wagman Brothers, you guys for the broadcast, the league for putting this stuff on. Universal Settlement Service, Jack Von Howard Associates, Keystone Alliance, KKP, Keister Recording Products, Fox's Pizza Den, Mexico Ridge Beef Farm, Snook Dirt Designs, and the Old Hatchery.
All right, there he is, Lane Snook. He'll finish in the third spot here tonight, and on the podium, good points run for the youngster out of Pennsylvania. Let's head over here. We've got Nick King coming up here. Nick, a solid performance tonight for the driver of the 43 machine as he rebounds to pick up tonight's GeForce Esports Hard Charger Award. Nick, kind of an up-and-down night, but in the end, I think 16th, probably okay with based on how your night started.
Yeah. I started off kind of iffy. This was my first time running Division A, so it was definitely a learning curve. Setup wasn't exactly there where I needed it to be, but especially when it slicked off, it came in a lot better than I wanted to, or better than what I thought it was going to. So.
How tough is it when you graduate from those other divisions down there with the Rebels and the Raiders, and suddenly you're here in the big show, the A division with the Renegades? How different is it?
It's a lot different. You really have to mind your P's and Q's. You have to hit your marks every single time, and one mistake can make it worth 2, 3, maybe even 5 spots, depending on what the track state is.
You've had a taste of it. You're ready for more?
Absolutely, sir.
I like it. Good run here tonight. Who do you need to thank for the helping you get the GeForce Esports Hard Charger Award?
Well, first off, I'd like to thank my wife, my mom. They're my biggest fan club. All the guys over there at Need Speed Motorsports that help put in the effort to run practices. Warrior Wraps, our paint company that does all of our paints for the team. Shady Rays, Butt Kicker, Rep Sports, Rays Energy, NSM Photos. There's probably more, and I'm just forgetting them right now.
That's all right. Let's get you some more runs like this. We'll get through them again next time. Nick King, congratulations on picking up the GeForce Esports Hard Charger Award here tonight.
Appreciate it, sir.
Nick King going to come home, your hard charger here tonight. Let's go back into our Epsilon Sprint Wraps podium presentation. Let's hear from tonight's runner-up, and that is the driver of the number 24 machine, Kyle Moonen, coming up here onto the podium. Kyle, another solid run. Good to see that 24 machine, but boy, was it wild there the last, I don't know, about 5 laps to go. It looked like you and Lane, both your cars just really came to life.
Yeah, they did. I just ran out of steam there in the middle and the bottom. That just completely went away and wasn't making up any ground there, and I knew if I didn't move around, that's where I was going to finish. So we both jumped up top up there, and it was pretty rough. I almost jumped the fence there a couple times, it seemed like, but made it through and snuck by a few of them there at the end.
What does it feel like when you're behind the wheel and suddenly you realize, you're no longer racing for 4th or 5th? Like suddenly you're going towards the front and in a hurry.
It's honestly, it's hard to kind of keep your nerves down, and not make mistakes. Like that one time in 3 and 4, there was a big, hump there, and like Goldner and I were talking about, you could run it really hard through there and then kind of had to let off and dip below it. And that one time I had a really good run going around Croaky, and I forgot to lift, I guess, and ducked below it and jumped up on the cushion and was bouncing around all over the place. I don't know how I saved it, to be honest with you.
You did, and you'll park it in the number 2 spot here tonight. Who do you need to thank for the solid run?
Just everyone at Vanderbilt, Jesse and Brandon, Fitz and Goldner and Lacey and Lane and JP. He ran tonight. He had some good runs, and Ross Crenette, Velocity Race Designs for the paint, and you guys for broadcasting, and Roger and everyone for the league.
All right, there he is, your driver finishing second here tonight. That is the 24 of Kyle Moonen. We're going to hear from our winner, but first I want to take a look here. As you see it on the screen, that is the finish for tonight. It's the second and third place. Wow, is that the one between Lane Snook and Matthew Croakey? Just how close it was out there on the speedway between those two. Boy, I can't get a straight line angle at it, but you can see just how close those two were at the finish line. What a battle it was for them. As we will turn our attention now to tonight's feature winner. Atop the podium, that is Stephen Goldner, who picks up the win here tonight in the number 30 ride. Goldner, welcome back to Victory Lane, the number 30 car. Looks sharp and was fast as well.
Yeah, you guys like that new paint that Ross at Velocity did for me? It's I think it looks really good in the nighttime, so it's pretty happy with how it came out.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it, and you had to be a fan of the way that car handled because you took that lead with about 11 laps to go, and from there on, you were hooked up and gone.
Yeah, we had a really good car tonight. Just kind of being patient with Croakey there, waiting for him to make a mistake or me to just have a run good enough where I could slide him. And it worked out there with, 10, 11 to go, and we were able to just kind of set sail there. We tried the bottom there, a couple times in 3 and 4. Couldn't really get it figured out. Didn't want to waste any more time on there, so I just started running the slider both ends, and that was the ticket to, locking down this win.
It's a lot of times you look at a win like that when you walk away in the last 10 laps, but you had to mind your business there, starting 6th on the grid. So early on, what was the game plan? Did you have a game plan? I guess maybe that's the question.
I was just being patient. I didn't run last week. I was working. I don't think I'm going to run the whole schedule this season. But, my heart was racing. I haven't really been in the car for a week and a half now. So I was pretty, heart was beating there for a minute and just trying to keep patient and get cars when they made mistakes. It was tough, but it was tough being patient with, not being in the car for a while.
Knocked the rust off there well enough to pull out and get the win. I know you got a lot of good people to thank, not only for the podium run here tonight, the winning run here tonight, but also last season becoming the 3-time series champion.
Yeah, I got to thank, first of all, Ross for doing that paint up for me. It looks really good at Velocity Race Designs, WagonmanBrothersBio.com, Vanderbilt Race Cars, Dirt Doctor Trucking, Fits Perfect Photography. I mean, all the guys that Vanny built for, putting the time in for these setups and making us fast, and you guys for the broadcast and Roger for putting this deal on.
All right, Stephen Goldner, congratulations on the victory.
Thanks a lot. Hopefully we'll talk to you again this season.
Looking forward to it. There he goes, Stephen Goldner, your winner here tonight with that number 30 machine, as he will come from the 6th starting spot to pick up the win. That is going to do it for us here tonight from the Knoxville Raceway with the SBGC 3D printing Renegades here tonight. As let's see if we can take one more look at that final lap here, as what a battle it was for the second and third spots around the speedway, as we get set to say goodnight here from the Knoxville Raceway. Next week, next up on the schedule, Fairbury, American Legion Speedway. That's where we're heading next week, and you can make sure to catch all of the action right here on GeForce Esports and GeForce TV. That is next week's action for these GeForce Racing Leagues SBGC 3D printing Renegades. As we'll take a final look here. Big thank you to all of the sponsors who support all of the GeForce Racing Leagues, 20 of them, and you can learn more about all of them at GeForceRL.com. There you can see Lane Snook's run right to the outside and the slimmest of margins for that second spot over Matthew Croakey. Wow, what a battle that was. Tune in Wednesday night, Hometown Heroes Night, 305 Sprints, the Dirt Legends, and the 410 Sprints. Of course, your chance to win a $20 Amazon gift card on Wednesday night. Just got to pick the podium. Go to GForceRL.com for all of the details on that. We'll have the big blocks on Thursday night. Scotty DeYoung is going to take care of you with that one. I'm going to go do some racing of my own on Thursday night. I'll be behind the wheel of my RC racing cars at the Tees Hobby Shop Winter Nationals in Rochester, Minnesota. I should be a stellar E-main contender over there this year at the 410 Sprints. Let's hope it goes a little better than that. And, of course, we'll have the the late models coming up on Friday night as well. Catch it all right here on GeForce TV. For everybody with the GeForce Racing Leagues, for Scotty DeYoung, who will be back with us on Thursday night, I'm Sean Neested saying good night, God bless, and we'll see you back at the track real soon. Goodbye, everybody.